If you believe in yourself, you can do anything. Want a promotion? Work hard, dress to impress. Want to ask a girl out? All it takes is a little confidence.
Excuse me, I couldn't help but notice that you were looking in my direction.
Oh, yes, I was. You just ordered the same exact lunch as me.
My name is George. I'm unemployed and I live with my parents.
I'm Victoria. Hi.
And with a little curiosity, journalists can uncover the news. In the 1970s, journalists discovered their secret to success was follow the money.
I have to do this my way. You tell me what you know, and I'll confirm. I'll keep you in the right direction if I can, but that's all. Just follow the money.
But since then, journalists have lost their sense of curiosity. Journalists just reported what they were told. Many times it was the CIA doing the telling. But Primetime's noticed something. Curiosity's back in the briefing room.
Yes or no, was the president involved in the shakedown attempt?
Stephen,
Yes or no?
Stephen, I just answered the question. I just said, it's not up to you how I answer the question.
Was the president there or not?
I would refer you to my colleagues at the White House Counsel.
Have you spoken to the president about this? Have you asked him whether he was there with his son on July 30th?
This is not a conversation that I've had with the president.
You've stated that the president stands by his comment from the 2020 campaign that he never once discussed his son's overseas business dealings.
What I will say is nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. And I will leave it there. Anything else, I will refer you to the White House Counsel.
This is not a change?
I just answered the question.
Whoa! I don't remember the briefing room being this testy since Jim Acosta was there. And this isn't just our very own stupid son of a bitch, Peter Doocy, asking questions about the president demanding cash bribes from China. These are mainstream reporters. It got so intense, Kirby had to come and rescue Binder, and then he had to tap out. Watch.
I will make certain that between the man sitting next to me and every person he knows, and my ability to forever hold a grudge, that you will regret not following my direction.
Let me save you some breath. If you're going to ask about this, I am not addressing. I know you do more than I'd like you to have. I am not going to address this issue from this podium. I'm just not going to do it.
All right.
I'm not going to do it.
Where was the president on the day of that speech?
Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.
Look how effective the press can be when they operate like pack animals, all hungry for the same facts, all curious about the same thing. This hasn't happened since the Trump administration. And it's not just the White House press corps. All three broadcast networks, ABC, CBS, and NBC, devoted serious airtime to the Biden scandal.
The lead IRS agent investigating Hunter Biden telling Congress they uncovered evidence the president's son pressured a potential Chinese business partner to move ahead with the deal by invoking his father.
If true, this would seem to contradict comments from President Biden that he was not involved in his son's business deals.
Karine Jean-Pierre told me, I have not spoken to the president about that. I asked her, do you plan to? Can you get us that answer? And she said, Chuck, no, I don't plan to speak to him about this, and I don't plan to address this from the podium.
Wow.
And that's which in many ways creates more questions about this issue.
So why is this happening now, all of a sudden? Well, a week ago, Chuck Todd was still convinced the laptop was Russian disinformation. So what set the press off? Well, it was a combination of Hunter's plea deal and two explosive IRS whistleblowers. A text message, Hunter Biden threatening China while Joe Biden was in the room, saying they would face consequences if they didn't pay the Bidens millions of dollars. This is a stunning piece of hard evidence that even the most liberal reporter can't ignore. Plus, the fact that several eyewitnesses say that Biden's Justice Department obstructed the Hunter prosecution, even tipping Hunter off to search warrants and blocking felony charges and running out the clock on statute of limitations. So you're looking at blatant corruption at the highest level of the administration. But what Washington really can't stand is the appearance of corruption. They're all corrupt, but they go to great lengths to hide it. So when Joe Biden invites Hunter to a state dinner Thursday night, 48 hours after he pled guilty to tax evasion and gun charges, Washington said, whoa, Joe, you're making it hard to defend you. Tell Hunter to keep the tux in the closet. What are you doing having him rub elbows with Attorney General Merrick Garland in the middle of a plea deal scandal?
You think it was appropriate for Hunter Biden to be at the same event as the Attorney General Merrick Garland was in the same week he accepted a plea deal?
You know, I think as the president explains, that's his son.
You understand the perception issue of something like that, though?
I do.
And do you wish that perception were different?
You always wish there were different perceptions, but that's not reality.
We know we're making progress when the media is covering the perception of a scandal. We're almost there. Now, how do I know Joe Biden's an intelligence op? Well, because he lets Hunter throw a wedding at the White House while under federal investigation and then brings him to a state dinner after he blocks felony charges. The only way you do that is because you know you can get away with doing that. And fresh off the state dinner, Joe takes Hunter to Camp David with him for the weekend. Now, it was at Camp David this weekend that Joe Biden held an important phone call with Zelensky of Ukraine. Was Hunter in the same room for the phone call? Joe and Hunter shook down the previous Ukrainian president, and now with billions going out the door, is Hunter in the room for that phone call too? You cannot defend that. The Biden scandal is no longer just a Biden scandal. It's becoming a Democrat scandal. The Democrats are having to answer for this.
If the president says he never talked business with his son, why are there these texts showing Hunter mentioning he's sitting next to his dad while threatening a Chinese businessman?
The time has come for extreme MAGA Republicans to stop peddling conspiracy theories and start working on issues of the economy that are important to the American people.
But when you see the evidence, none of this sounds fishy to you? None of this sounds fishy at all to you?
Same answer.
If the president says he never talked about business...
In a big hurry, have work to do to save women from a very destructive Republican Party in this House. You should be worried about that.
Does any of this bother you, Speaker Pelosi?
What bothers me are the Republicans standing in the way of your reproductive freedom.
So for the first time, the Democrats have a problem they can't blame on Russia. They can't blame it on COVID or racism, for that matter, either. And the act of covering it up now becomes criminal. Speaker Kevin McCarthy today announced the House will move to impeach Joe Biden's attorney general.
By July 6th, because of the allegations from the IRS, because of the whistleblowers and the DOJ, Garland, what he is saying and what David Weiss are saying privately are two different things. Right. And if it comes true what the IRS whistleblower is saying, we're going to start impeachment inquiries on the attorney general.
So Fox News caught Joe Biden coming out of an event today. Watch this. Biden's word worthless here. Hunter Biden gave his dad a burner phone when he was vice president and paid for the bills.
What is the line of communications between Hunter Biden and his business partners and Joe Biden when he's vice president of the United States? It's not the government phone. It's not Joe Biden's personal phone. We know from the laptop that Hunter Biden's business paid for a private phone line that Joe Biden used while he was vice president. It was from AT&T. It was $300 a month.
Whoa. Hunter was using Ukrainian bribes to pay for his dad's burner phone when he was vice president. What? Well, what else did Hunter pay for? We already know that Hunter's on record complaining about half his salary going to the big guy. So will House Oversight issue subpoenas for Hunter's credit cards and Hunter's phone records? If AT&T gives you Biden's burner phone records when he was vice president, that should tell us something. And if Hunter was putting his dad's lifestyle on his shell company's credit cards, then you should be able to draw a line from China to Hunter to Joe Biden. And that's your smoking gun. And the whistleblowers aren't done. One Delaware beer baron says he went to prison for 2 years for illegal donations to Joe Biden. The Bidens came asking him for $100,000 in donations, and to skirt the legal limit, the Bidens suggested he had all of his employees donate, straw donors. Well, he got caught. Joe told him tough luck. And then when he offered the feds to wear a wire, they said no. Big guy's off limits.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.